we present DENALI, a dataset enabling non-line-of-sight spatial reasoning with low-cost LiDARs. Consumer LiDARs are becoming increasingly ubiquitous in consumer electronics, including mobile phones, AR/VR headsets, and in robotics. Consumer LiDARs like the AMS TMF8828 LiDAR on the left used in this project are used to measure depth. To do this, they emit a pulse of light and time how long it takes for that pulse to return to the sensor. These returns are saved in a histogram, which measures the photon return count over time. The time bin of the dominant peak in a measurement corresponds to the depth. This is visualized in the red arrow in the figure on the right. However, these direct time-of-flight LiDARs are also capable of encoding the structure of hidden objects in a scene. This is because these LiDARs, which are sensitive to single photon returns, also capture late-arriving 3-bounce returns, which is light that scatters off a surface, to a hidden object in the scene, back to the visible surface, and then back to the sensor. This is visualized in the blue path on the right, and in the small, late-arriving blue peak in the example measured histogram. Importantly, these 3-bounce LiDAR returns can help enable non-line-of-sight perception, reasoning about objects outside of our sensor's field of view. However, consumer LiDARs are extremely hardware constrained, which makes using conventional end-loss perception methods difficult. For example, the TMF consumer LiDAR on the left is limited to between 3x3 and 8x8 pixel resolution outputs, and it can only capture at best just 80 picosecond timing resolution per histogram bin. In this work, we introduced DENALI, a large-scale public dataset enabling data-driven end-loss perception with low-cost LiDARs. This is a complementary direction to current end-loss techniques. Through DENALI, we aim to analyze how much we can actually perceive about hidden objects, not by trying to force conventional reconstruction techniques onto limited hardware, but instead by learning directly from large-scale, real-world captures. To do this, we capture a large-scale dataset of 72,000 hidden object scenes. We 3D print 30 unique shapes, letters, numbers, and abstract forms at 2 sizes each, and we cover them with retroreflective tape to elicit measurable 3-bounce returns in our capture setup. Each object is then captured across 100 positions on a motorized gantry over 2 lighting conditions and 2 LiDAR resolutions, giving us a controlled, large-scale dataset to study what consumer LiDARs can actually perceive about hidden objects. Our capture system is built to elicit clean 3-bounce returns. Our low-cost LiDAR is paired with an RGBD camera and pointed at a flat relay wall. The hidden object sits on a motorized gantry just outside of the LiDAR's direct field of view, ensuring that everything we measure is indirect multi-bounce light from that hidden object. To make the captures fully reproducible, we use a second overhead RGBD camera together with AprilTag markers on the LiDAR, the wall, the table, and the object itself, giving us accurate 6-degree of freedom poses for every component in every capture. Our controlled capture setup allows us to isolate how different capture variables affect the signal. We show examples of 3-bounce peaks in captured histograms in the bottom row. These 3-bounce peaks vary notably with object shape, size, position, and lighting. Our goal with DENALI is to ask the question, how much can consumer LiDARs actually perceive about hidden objects? We benchmark across 3 end-loss tasks, classifying shape, localizing position, and estimating hidden object size. We find that all 3 of these are achievable with consumer LiDARs. But more importantly, we also identify specific constraints of these sensors for end-loss perception. For example, that specific object shapes and sizes cannot be classified well, or that end-loss localization is only feasible within a specific region, depending on the hidden object itself. Beyond the raw measurements, our 6-degree of freedom tracking lets us generate paired digital twins in simulation of each captured scene using Mitsuba 3. With these real sim pairs, we can identify where simulations fall short for supporting inference with low-cost LiDARs. We find, for example, that we can measure the importance of modeling pulse shape, photon noise, and timing jitter for performing NLOS localization on real LiDAR measurements using only simulated samples. Please see our project page for the full details on our dataset, code, benchmarking, and capture setup.